Hello and welcome to the 220th episode of Gaming Talk. On this episode, I will be discussing and giving my thoughts on Halo Campaign Evolved. Let's get into this. I am not going to be talking about the story of this game. This is the third iteration now of Combat Evolved, so it's not at all necessary for me to go over the plot of the game. The question is, does this game need to exist? There's definitely a lot of things in this game that will be a major turnoff to the Halo purists, and I'm not just talking about the addition of sprint. There's the obvious stuff like how the assault rifle magazine is 36 bullets instead of 60, and just all the changes to how most of the guns sound. Now, for me, the only gun sound change that I didn't really like is the Magnum. This doesn't have that same punch that it does in Halo CE original or on Master Chief Collection. But on the other hand, I do like the new sound for the plasma rifle. A lot of the new stuff, though, is in the 3 prequel missions that, to me, don't really add much to the story of the game, but these sections are where we see the addition of stuff like the battle rifle and the brute carbine. I know that there are some more weapons that they added in general that were not in Halo CE originally. Things like the SMG, the energy sword being usable, the fuel rod cannon, sentinel beam, needle rifle, and beam rifle. Question is, do I personally feel one way or the other about the inclusion of these weapons? No, not really. And technically they are only new weapons to Combat Evolved, or Campaign Evolved, as the weapons are... These are weapons that were introduced in other Halo games, and I personally don't have an issue with this, because to me it doesn't throw off the balance of the game, like some people think. Plus, some weapons, like the Sentinel Beam, they are so useful against the Flood, so I don't really mind it at all. I did mention before, but yes, the game does have sprint. Now, again, if you're one of those purists that are just gonna whine and complain about all of that, well, you can turn it off if you want to. It also has like this kind of weapon zoom thing that to me is pretty similar to what we had in Halo Infinite, and I don't really mind the zoom because it just kind of makes sense. I guess I just kind of imagine that in lore, Master Chief could kind of do that sort of thing with his helmet, you know? So it doesn't really bother me at all. But outside of all of that, there really isn't that much left to talk about. Barring those 3 prequel missions, the story is exactly the same as it was in the original and the anniversary versions of Halo CE. I do remember running into several areas where the frames would dip pretty badly, but not that big of a deal. Plus, despite using a much older graphics card, the game still looks really good, even on low settings. The Floods still suck to fight, so I think they did pretty well there. There are many skulls to collect, and something called Campaign Remix you unlock once you've beaten the main story of the game, not the prequel missions. And on top of that, I didn't bother seeing what Campaign Remix was because I've played this game before. So once I was done with the campaign, I was done. I genuinely do think that for an attempt at seeing if Halo can work in the Unreal Engine, I think that they accomplished that, and I think it's a good thing. It looks and feels like a Halo game, and that is what matters. Perhaps now Microsoft and Halo Studios can come to a more clear idea on what a new, original Halo game could be. That or they'll just pump out some sort of campaign evolved versions of Halo 2 and Halo 3, since that would be a safe bet over an entirely new Halo game. I do think that Halo Campaign Evolved is a good and enjoyable game that I can definitely recommend, but I still think it's more worth playing Halo CE on the Master Chief Collection because A, you can play the original graphics version and, you don't have to deal with turning off a bunch of modern mechanics if you don't want to have to be bothered turning them off. That's all I have to say, so if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye!